Coming up on BG24 News. Semester finals are coming up in less than 2 weeks. Find out where you can get some extra help.
Plus, BGSU students gathered to discuss the recent controversy in Ferguson, Missouri.
And we'll have a look at BG24 sports and the Big Mac Championship football game tomorrow.
We will also have your full Black Swamp weather forecast. Welcome to your Campus and Community Connection.
Live local news starts right now. This is BG24 News, live at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brooke Ebersole.
And I'm Amy Steigerwald. Thanks for joining us on the last broadcast of the semester.
Breaking news out of Washington, D.C. tonight. Earlier today, the House of Representatives voted to block President Obama's deportation bill.
The bill was aimed to protect undocumented immigrants from deportation. Many lawmakers want to block funding for immigration agencies as well as a way to prevent them from enforcing presidential orders.
Final exams are less than 2 weeks away. Reporter Maya Lanier tells us how the Learning Commons are expanding their hours to help students.
The Learning Commons are prepping students for their final exams, as the front desk is checking in students to get tutored. Not only are students attending the Learning Commons to get help, but also are using their professors as resources.
I've been going to a lot of my teachers' office hours and getting help from them, you know, just going through chapter by chapter and reviewing things that I'm really not too sure about. The Learning Commons as well, they're really helpful. I've been there dozens of times.
Different students have different ways to study. As Jasmine Barnett says, she likes to get a head start.
Giving advice to students is really hard because everyone has different study habits. But for me, I study a week in advance for all my finals. So if I got a final on Thursday, I start studying either that Friday or I start studying Monday.
The Learning Commons are pushing for success as they are changing up and expanding some rules.
Every semester we do a study on Sunday event, which is the Sunday before finals week. This year it will be on December 14th, and we offer extended hours during that day. We have extra tutors available to help students throughout the day.
Students say this is a great hands-on resource to help prep them for finals. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Maya Lanier.
If students want extra help to prepare for their finals, the Learning Commons is available from noon to 10 p.m.
BGSU's Wellness Connection program is helping students for this holiday season. They have created a new program titled Maintain, Don't Gain. This program is designed to help students have health in mind while enjoying their holiday meals. At the beginning of next semester, prizes will be given out to participating students who have completed the Maintain Challenge.
This Saturday at the Wolf Center for the Arts is the 10th annual Arts Extravaganza. This serves as a showcase for the university's artists and performers. Some events include musical performances, student art sales, demos for glass sculptures, and student films. Arts Extravaganza takes place from 5 to 9 p.m. This whole event is free of charges and open to all ages. Well, we're going to take a first look at your Black Swamp weather forecast for this week. What are we looking at, Kaylee?
Well, right now we've got some really dry conditions out there. We are going to have some rain coming as we head into the next couple days, but a current look at your temperature, it's 36 degrees out there with some mostly cloudy skies.
Thanks, Kaylee. Last night, students gathered on campus to discuss the recent controversy in Ferguson, Missouri. They shared their thoughts and feelings about race and law enforcement. Discussion leader Tobias Spears from Multicultural Affairs asked open-ended questions for students to answer. Spears says these discussions will help students work through their personal impact of a national issue. The last discussion will be held tonight from 5 to 8 in the Math and Science Building, room 318B.
Safe space. People have been able to come and talk and disagree, share certain perspectives, give certain, iterations of what they've found out happened.
Bowling Green City Council has recently passed a new legislation. Find out what it is after the break.
Also, a high school teacher was arrested on counts of drug trafficking. Stay with us.
Bowling Green City Council has recently passed a new Complete the Streets legislation. The goal is to make sure Bowling Green City streets are safe and accessible. The plan involves bike lanes and safer school routes for younger students. Community members have offered a lot of positive feedback regarding the proposal. City Council member Daniel Gordon says he hopes for some progress to be made by next year.
And ask citizens to help come together and raise funds for the particular project that they want to see happen. Because the reality is that we're living in tough times, but you know, in Bowling Green, where there's a will, there's a way.
One of the main factors of this project is budget restraints and being able to raise enough funds.
The police force in Perrysburg will soon experience major cuts. Recent budget restraints are forcing them to eliminate important facets of the force. Starting on January 1st, the force will no longer participate in the Northern Regional SWAT team. The criminal interdiction team will be cut as well. Lastly, the force will not be replacing their retired officers. This comes after the failed levy in the general election.
We bring you some alarming news from our neighboring town of Rossford. A high school teacher from Rossford High School is now facing felony drug charges. Earlier this week, marijuana was found in teacher Todd J. Eckel's car on school property. Eckel was arrested on 4th-degree felony for trafficking of marijuana. Currently, there is no evidence of the drug being sold to students of the high school.
A Toledo woman has been found guilty on charges of kidnapping and robbery. Hugh Zhang kidnapped a University of Toledo student in 2013. She took the student to a vacant home in BG and robbed him. Her 3 other co-defendants have already been charged for up to 3 years in prison.
The mayor of Toledo is asking for federal help in improving water quality for Lake Erie. Mayor D. Michael Collins appeared before the Senate Agriculture Committee yesterday. This is the first time he's appeared since the Toledo water crisis back in August. Collins asked Congress to increase their funding for research on the lake's algae problem. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown and Debbie Stabenlow also pleaded their cases for improvement of the water quality.
Coming up, Ohio's number of deadly car crashes are on the rise. Find out what is causing these car crashes.
Plus, we'll have your full Black Swamp weather forecast. Stay with us.
Live local forecast with BG24 Black Swamp Weather.
If you're hoping for a white Christmas, we do still have 3 more weeks to get some snow on the ground. But right now, we're above freezing. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kaylee Hodge with your last Black Swamp weather forecast of 2014. A current look outside, it's 36 degrees. We do have some clouds in our area, but that won't be bringing us any significant chances for rain until tomorrow. And we have an east wind coming in, making us feel a little bit cooler. It's going to feel like 31 degrees. Tonight, we're going to be cooling out at 29 degrees. We will have more clouds moving in, giving us overcast skies. But again, not a likely chance of rain until tomorrow night. Tomorrow, we're going to warm up to 40 degrees. And we'll have those light variable winds coming in. And then as we head into our afternoon, that's when we're going to first start to see our chance of showers. And tomorrow night, we're going to cool down to 36 degrees with a 100% chance of precipitation. Make sure you grab your umbrella as you head out the door tomorrow night. A look at temperatures in our area. We're all right around 36 degrees. As you head farther south like Fostoria and closer to the lake like Sandusky, you'll see we'll gain a degree or 2, but not much to be significant. A look at our skies. You can see these clear skies we have right now. But it's actually this little blip of showers that's going to be moving into our area and bringing those rain showers tomorrow and tomorrow night. You can see this is caused by this high pressure system we have right over the Ohio-West Virginia border. The air around the high pressure system is swinging up and bringing it right into Ohio, those rain showers. It's also doing the same thing with the temperature. That's why you can see this little bit of a bulge in those warmer temperatures that are going to be heading our way as we get those showers. You can see this on our 5-day that we're actually going to be gaining a couple degrees as we head in Saturday and Sunday to 38 degrees. And then Monday, we're going to have a high temperature of 42. Also, we're going to be having some rain showers this weekend, so just keep that in mind as you head out your door.
Well, Kaylee, I'm looking forward to a white Christmas, but I'm kind of glad it's not going to snow this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know, but like rain, it gets in your hair, and then your makeup runs.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you need for finals.
Right. No extra stress.
If I wanted a dry climate, I should not have come to Bowling Green.
Bad choices, guys. Bad choices.
Thanks a lot, Kaylee.
Ohio health officials assure Ohioans that they are safe from an Ebola scare. It has recently been noted that no Ohio hospitals are designated to treat the disease. Now, the Ohio Department of Health says they are planning to have multiple hospitals in the state to hold Ebola patients.
The month of November has had an increase in deadly car crashes. According to Ohio Highway Patrol, there were 50% more deadly crashes in Ohio compared to last November. Officials say distracted driving is a major cause of these crashes. Texting while driving is a major concern of State Highway Patrol. They asked drivers to refrain from this, especially during the bad road conditions this coming winter.
Protesters interrupted the New York City Rock Center tree lighting ceremony yesterday. They were rioting against the Eric Garner court ruling. Garner, an African-American man, was choked to death during his arrest by a white police officer. The grand jury decided not to prosecute the officer late Wednesday night. Much like in Ferguson, protesters believe the ruling was unjust.
Well, NASA has rescheduled its launching of the Orion spacecraft. The launch was scheduled for earlier this morning, but multiple delays caused the scrubbing of the launch. The Orion spacecraft is expected to take its first crew in 2021 to explore into deep space. For its test flight, the Orion will climb to the altitude 15 times higher than the International Space Station. The Orion is now scheduled to launch tomorrow morning at 7:05 a.m.
Now Juan Pimiento joins us now for a look at campus and community sports. Juan?
Thank you, Amy. Coming up, we have a full MAC championship game preview. We'll tell you what to expect for tomorrow. And it's a busy weekend for Falcon sports. We'll go over what games to keep an eye on. All this and more when we come back.
It's un-Falcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome to BG24 Sports. I'm Juan Pimiento. The MAC championship game is tomorrow night. It's been an up and down year for the Falcons so far, and the team is getting ready to play Northern Illinois, a team they faced in this same game 1 year ago.
I think they're a little disappointed. We had a big loss, and you got to put a light on that.
We have a chance to go do the same thing we did last year. That's what our focus is on right now.
There's not many teams in the country right now preparing for week 13.
People say that NIU is the better team, but the better team doesn't always win the game.
Now we need to rebound, we need to come and play. Show what kind of character we have.
They're going to see everything we did wrong, so we got to make sure we correct everything before we step on the field.
It's the championship. Everyone's watching. Everyone from Bowling Green, the community will be there.
Of course, they'll want payback. They're going to look at all our games. They really going to want to beat us.
They had an opportunity to win last year, and for whatever the reason was, they didn't.
Nobody believes in us.
We have a lot to prove, and we 0-3 in the West.
We've earned the right to play in this championship game.
Everybody in our family believes, so that's all that matters.
It's got to be a championship mentality. Even going to class, you got to go to class as a champion.
It's not about what happens when you get knocked down. What happens when you get back up. And let's get back up and fight.
Bowling Green ended the regular season at 7-5, while Northern Illinois sits at 10-2. The Falcons earned the trip to the championship game midway through the season, but the Huskies made it on the last game of the season. It's another big game for the Falcons as they come in winless to the MAC West. Katie Wernke joins us now to talk a little bit about this game. Katie?
Thanks, Juan. This is going to be a game to see. Like you said, the Huskies barely made it into this MAC championship game against Toledo, but the Falcons have sort of been sitting in this position for a while now.
Now, what's the biggest change we'll see in this year's game?
Well, this year, I think the most obvious change is there is no Jordan Lynch. The star QB for the Huskies is not here this year. He graduated. And also, Matt Johnson is not in the pocket for the Falcons. Jordan Lynch had a very strong passing game. Now the Huskies sort of have a running and passing game, so that is going to be the biggest change that we'll see.
Now, a lot of people are picking NIU to win the game. What's the key for the Falcons to stop this team?
The biggest key is to stop that NIU offense. Like I said, it is more of a rushing offense this year. They need to stop quarterback Drew Hare and running back Cameron Stingley. Both of them combined have run for over 1,400 yards. Stingley leads the team in rushing touchdowns, while Hare, their quarterback, he can run, but he also has that passing game too. He has 15 touchdowns on the season so far, so they need to be able to stop both of those offensive components if they want to win this game.
Can the Falcons trust in quarterback James Kanapke?
They absolutely can. Kanapke has sort of had some off games against Toledo and Ball State, But they are going to be in Ford Field, a warm weather environment indoors, so that's going to sort of warm up the hands so he can pass the ball better. He also has Ronnie Moore and Roger Lewis to throw the ball to. Hopefully Travis Green will be in the game. We'll have Fred Coppett as well. So you can trust in Kanapke, but the interesting thing is since Dino Babers put in Cody Callaway in the game against Toledo, I wouldn't be surprised if we could see Callaway reappear in this game against NIU if Kanapke does not live up to what his expectations are.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Katie. Now, Bowling Green tries to become back-to-back MAC champions for the first time in 22 years. The game is tomorrow night at 7 in Detroit at Ford Field. Coming up for other Falcon sports this weekend, swimming hits the pool in Ypsilanti for the Eastern Michigan Collegiate Invitational. Bowling Green comes off a 9th-place finish at the Georgia Tech Invite. The women are undefeated in the MAC so far this season at 2-0. And Falcon Daniela Carrillo is making the march this season. The junior made the NCAA B cuts, the only swimmer in the MAC to do so. They will be away from Cooper Pool until January. Gymnastics is getting ready for its regular season to start. The Falcons are holding an inter-team scrimmage on Saturday. The women will compete on vault, bar, steam, and floor. After the meet, fans can stay and meet the team for autographs. The meet is set to start at 2 o'clock in Anderson Arena. Hockey also competes this weekend. Hitting the ice Friday and Saturday, the team takes on WCHA rival Northern Michigan. Both the Falcons and the Wildcats are nationally ranked. Bowling Green holds a 14 ranking, carrying a 14-14-6 overall record, while Northern Michigan came at 20 this week with a 13-19-2 record. The Falcons then start a road trip and will not be on the home ice until mid-January. That's all for BG24 Sports. Tune in Monday for MAC Championship game coverage and other highlights this weekend. And follow us on Twitter at BG24 Sports now for up-to-date Falcon sports. I'm Juan Pimiento. We'll be right back.
The Wood County Historical Center is reopening its doors this winter. Starting this Saturday through December 19th, the center will be open to tourists. The museum will host a number of events over the holiday season, including live music performances, scavenger hunts, and even a visit from Santa Claus. The center will also feature a Civil War Christmas interpretation. For additional information, visit the center's website at www.woodcountyhistory.org. Well, we take one last look at your weather forecast for this weekend. Again, what's it looking like for us, Kaylee?
Okay, well, right now we have some dry conditions out there, but as we head into tomorrow, we're going to start to see some rain showers in the afternoon and evening. Those are going to continue until Saturday morning, and then it's going to be pretty dry through the rest of the week. Temperatures are going to stay right around 40 degrees.
So for all those commuting up to Detroit tomorrow for the Big Mac Championship game, they're going to be driving through some rain?
Yes, bring an umbrella, but the game's indoors, so at least they won't be wet while they're watching it.
Yeah, that's true, and we have, again, expectations. Hopefully we can win back-to-back championships. Last year we were underdogs too, and we ended up winning by 20 points. So let's see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, so and it'll be worth driving through the rain to get up there.
Yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
whole, what, hour and a half drive, 2 hours?
And it's the experience of being there and being, you know, in the spotlight, national TV, finally being prominent nationally. It's really important. It's really cool to experience.
Yeah, it is cool to watch how far the Falcons have come because, you know, towards the beginning of the season I said, this is not going to be good. This is going to be an off season for us.
And we'll be back next year. Probably better than this year too, so.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's what my dad said to me. He said, well, don't they go to the MAC championships every year? And I said, no.
Not a guaranteed thing.
Starting now, we will.
It's not a scheduled thing, but let me knock on wood for you and make sure that that continues to happen.
Definitely excited for that.
Yeah. Well, that's all for BG24 News tonight. Check out these stories and more online at bg24news.org. And check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night, everyone.